Hello students, welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas. We have an app by the name CareersCloud which you can go and download through Play Store. Once you have downloaded the application, you will be able to easily log in using your Gmail ID. Once you have logged in, you will be redirected to this page where you will be getting this UI, and there will be option for home, all courses, my courses and doubt section. On this application, you will be getting multiple PDFs, multiple content on daily basis that will be enhancing your learning. Our first segment is daily current affairs. We make sure to provide you current affairs on daily basis in both English as well as in Hindi content. The PDFs for the same are uploaded on our application, and apart from this, we also make sure to provide you with quizzes that will help you to revise the content after you have gone through the PDF. Next comes our weekly content. The content is also provided in both English as well as in Hindi, and here we also make sure to provide you quiz also of that past week's current affairs that will be enhancing your learning, as it is a compilation of the important topics, important MCQ questions for the last week. Similar for the monthly, the PDFs are very important. They provide you insights of various topics, as well as we also make sure to provide you the quiz of monthly questions that are very important for learning. Next, we also provide you with important PIB articles on daily basis so that you can go through these articles and have an insight about that particular topic. Not just this, we also make sure to provide you important events that are happening globally and make sure to give you the right analysis. One of the most important segment of our application is that we make sure to provide you with the correct exam analysis. When you are having exam, we make sure to provide you with previous year questions so that the student can go through the exam pattern and the syllabus and can prepare the exam accordingly based on the pattern. After the exam, we also make sure to provide you with the exam analysis. Then for the students who are preparing for state exams, they will be also beneficial here, as we will make sure to provide with state-wise current affairs for them. Apart from this, we also make sure to cover the topic-wise current affairs such as your national affairs, government schemes, international affairs, banking and finance, economy and businesses, as these are the topics from which the examiner definitely asks the question, and these are covered on the monthly basis. So friends, do check our application. It will be a one-stop solution for learning. Apart from this, friends, CareersCloud is hiring. We are looking for candidates for subject matter experts in quants, reasoning and English, and also we are looking for a content creator for current affairs topic on daily basis, weekly basis and monthly basis. There is also an opening for a person who can translate the English content into Hindi. If you want to apply, you can scan the code here for further details, or you can go to the description and click the link below. These positions are available both in full-time and freelance for serious candidates. Hello everyone. So in this video, we will be discussing important current affairs for 12th of April. Session will be quite interesting and important, so do take notes. They will be very beneficial for your learning. Let's start. First is India, along with which country amended double tax avoidance agreement. So in order to avoid the paying of double tax, which country along with India has recently partnered to amend this double tax avoidance agreement? It is Mauritius. Right here you can see India, the government of Republic of India and the government of Mauritius, they have amended India-Mauritius double tax avoidance agreement, that is DTAA, and it is to focus on preventing tax evasions instead of promoting bilateral investment flows. If we look at this only, remember what is the main aim here? It is to avoid double tax, right? And with this, there will be a reduction of tax. More money will be there with the governments, more money will be there with the businessmen so that they can invest. And as the aim suggests, to exclude the encouragement of mutual trade and investment, and to include the intention of not providing treaty benefit that creates a situation of reduced taxation or non-taxation. Right? So coming back, it is the government of Republic of India and government of Mauritius. They have amended India-Mauritius double tax avoidance agreement to focus on preventing tax evasions instead of promoting bilateral investment flows. Right? And remember, India and Mauritius, they together signed the protocol to amend the India-Mauritius DDAA in March 2023, and India has signed this DTAA double tax avoidance agreement with almost 85 countries to safeguard the NRIs from double taxation. Now, what this double taxation includes is, like, say for example, you are an Indian and you are working in, say, Ireland, right? Then if you want to send some money back and you are earning money in Ireland and you are paying tax on that, and then you want to send money back home, right, in your Indian account, so you don't have to pay tax on the money that you send back to India, correct, for a specific limit, right? Above that you need to pay tax, but on that you don't need to pay tax on the money that you will be sending from Ireland to back home in India, right? That will be tax free, right? So this was your DTAA, and this was signed with 85 countries with India, correct? If we look at some of the highlights here, this expression, encouragement of mutual trade and investment, has been removed from the preamble of the agreement, and this highlights the shift in the focus towards preventing the tax evasions over promoting bilateral investment flows. The main focus here is India's commitment to international tax cooperation standards while raising critical considerations for investors leveraging the India-Mauritius corridor. Apart from this, there is a PPT. PPT is your principal purpose test, and this has been incorporated in this agreement. And what is this? This tax administration can deny the tax treaty benefit if the principal purpose of the action undertaken by the taxpayer was to obtain a benefit. That means if you just want to take a benefit out of it, then you will be opted out from this particular scheme. And the aim here is to reduce the tax avoidance by ensuring that the treaty benefits are only granted for the transactions with a bona fide purpose. Let me show you here PPT, a principal purpose test, correct, incorporated in this agreement. And under this, the tax administration can deny the tax treaty benefit if the principal purpose of the action undertaken by the taxpayer was to obtain a particular benefit of tax reduction only and not a specific cause or investment. The aim here is to reduce the tax avoidance by ensuring that the treaty benefits are only granted for transactions with a bona fide purpose. Then if we talk about India-Mauritius DTAA, the agreement was signed on 24th of August 1982 and it came into force in 1983. It stated that the capital gains tax had to be paid in the country where the foreign investor was based. Therefore, the rate of capital gains tax in Mauritius was 0. Correct? Apart from this, remember, Mauritius is the fourth largest source of foreign portfolio investors flows, correct, and they are from Mauritius and they are owning shares worth more than 4 lakh crores or 6% of the total FPI assets in India, that is foreign portfolio assets in India, and it is close to 4 lakh crore for Mauritius, and Mauritius is the fourth largest source of FPI flows, correct. Moving on, here you can see agreement was signed 1982. Moving on, next is KABIL and CSIR IMMT. This is an arm of CSIR only, correct. So KABIL, it is your Khanij Bidesh India Limited. They have signed this MOU with the CSIR's arm, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research arm, Institute of Mineral and Material Technology. And why was this MOU signed? This MOU was signed for knowledge cooperation, bolstering technical knowledge cooperation, coming up with new technologies, doing research and development so that new technologies can be incorporated in the existing one or new technologies can replace the existing one, right? And this MOU was signed for bolstering technical and knowledge cooperation for critical minerals at the National Aluminium Company Limited corporate office in Bhubaneswar, Odisha, right? If we talk about this only here under this MOU, KABIL, what is KABIL? Khanij Bidesh India Limited, right? And they will leverage this IMMT, that is Institute of Mineral and Material Technologies, service and technical expertise. This is for design and analysis of metallurgical test, development and review process of various flow sheets, then process technology selection for mineral processing. What are the better technology that we should use for the mineral processing, extraction, and so on, right? And this MOU also began joint research attempts, as I just mentioned, to enhance the technology in the particular mineral mining sector. If we talk about KABIL, that is Khanij Bidesh India Limited, right? If we talk about this KABIL, this is a joint venture of 3 government enterprises. They are NALCO, right? Then HCL and Mineral Exploration Consultancy Limited, and they are in the ratio of 40%, 30%, and 30%. KABIL, it was incorporated in 2019. correct? And who is the chairman here of KABIL? Sridhar Patra. Who is the CEO of Chief Executive Officer here? Sadashiv Samatre, right? And where is the headquarter? In New Delhi, correct? So it is KABIL and Department of CSIR, that is IMMT. They signed this MOU for technical and knowledge cooperation for critical minerals and to do research about what type of technology can be used in our process to make minor minerals exploration, metals mining, minerals mining more feasible and can focus on sustainable development goals also. Moving on. Next question, and this is important, take a note of this. According to Quackrelli-Simon World University Ranking by Subject 2024, which university ranked as India's top university for development studies? For development studies in this particular area of development studies, correct? Which Indian university has topped the Indian ranking here? It is JNU, right? Let me show you here. According to Quackrelli-Simon, correct, this was the 14th edition of the Quackrelli-Simon World University Ranking by Subjects, and here Jawaharlal Nehru University, that is JNU, has ranked as India's highest ranked institution in the development studies, correct, and globally it was ranked 20th. So in India, in development studies, JNU, it secured first position. But if we are talking about globally, what is the rank? It is on 10th, or it is on 20th position globally, JNU, right? And remember, Harvard University of USA, it secured the first position in 4 broad subjects, right? Now if we look at some of the rankings here, you can see Harvard University has topped in arts and humanities. Second, University of Cambridge. Third, University of Oxford. If we talk about engineering and technology, MIT of USA secured the first position, Stanford second, and University of Oxford third position. In life sciences also, Harvard University secured top position. In natural science also, Harvard University secured top position. And in social science and management also, Harvard University secured the top position. Then if we talk about Indian scenario, right, if we look about Indian universities, in development studies, JNU has secured the first position, global rank is 20. In business and management studies, IIM Ahmedabad of Gujarat secured the first position, and globally it is ranked at 22nd position. For engineering, mineral and mining, IIT Maharashtra, or IIT Bombay, not Maharashtra, IIT Bombay secured the first position, and it is globally at 25th position. In engineering petroleum, IIT Madras of Tamil Nadu secured the first position, and globally it is ranked at 29th position. Apart from this, remember, JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, is also India's top ranked university in the subjects of geography, history, modern languages, politics, anthropology, English language, literature, and linguistics. Take a note of this. Then Savitha Institute of Medical and Technical Sciences, that is deemed to be university in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, right? It secured 24th spot globally in the dentistry and is the only Indian university to achieve a perfect score 100 out of 100 in one of the QS indicators, namely the H index, ranking number 1 in this metric with dentistry table. So for dentistry, Savitha Institute of Medical and Technical Sciences. If we are talking about these subjects, it is JNU, and for JNU is also for your development studies. For business management, it is IIM Ahmedabad. For engineering, mineral and mining, IIT Bombay. For petroleum engineering, it is IIT Madras. For arts and humanities, it is Harvard University on first position. For engineering and technology, for social science and management, for natural science, for life sciences and medicines, it is Harvard University, and for engineering and technology, it is MIT of USA. Correct? Take a note of this. Apart from this, if we look at some of the other highlights, 69 Indian universities featured in the 2024 Quackrelli-Simon World University Ranking by Subject, with 424 entries, making 19.4% increase from 2023. In the broader Asian context, India became the second most represented country in Asia after China, with 101 institutions were on the list of China. Then India ranked 5th regionally for the number of entries in the top 200 and 6th for the top 100 entries, right? Apart from this, remember, India's experienced a remarkable 54% surge in the research output comparing from 2017 to 2022. Not just this, if we look at some of the recent related news, according to the 8th edition of the India ranking prepared by the Ministry of Education, that is based on the parameters that are defined by NIRF, National Institute of Ranking Framework, IIT Madras and IITM Chennai, Tamil Nadu, correct? They has Remember, they have topped the list for the 5th consecutive time. I repeat, according to the 8th edition of India ranking prepared by the Ministry of Education based on the NIRF ranking, right, IIT Madras and IITM of Chennai, Tamil Nadu, they secured the top position of Chennai, Tamil Nadu. They both secured the top position in the list prepared by NIRF ranking, prepared by Indian rankings. Correct. That is the 8th edition of the Indian ranking prepared by NIRF, and this is for the 5th consecutive time they secured the top position. Then, if we talk about Times Higher Education World University ranking, Indian Institute of Science Bangalore, IISc Bangalore, right, they ranked number 1 among the Indian institutes, falling from 201 to 50 band ranking for the first time since 2017, and IISc Bangalore has moved up from 251 to 230 band in 2023, right? So just have an idea. If we are talking about Quackrelli-Simon, right, so it was your Quackrelli-Simon's 14th edition of this World University ranking by subjects that was released. If we talk about who is the CEO of Quackrelli-Simon, so Jessica Turner. Where is the headquarter? It is in London, UK. Moving on. Next is WTO, World Trade Organization, projected global merchandise trade volume to grow by how much percent in 2024? So, according to the global merchandise trade volume, or according to the data released by WTO, their report, that is Global Trade Outlook and Statistics for April 2024, the global merchandise trade volume, it is expected to grow by 2.6%. Correct, in 2024. Let me show you here. This is the report name, Global Trade Outlook and Statistics for April 2024. It is released by World Trade Organization, and they projected that the global merchandise trade volume is expected to grow by 2.6% in 2024. And it is expected to grow by 3.3% in 2025, as the demand for the traded goods has rebounded following a contraction in 2023, and now we are seeing more demand, and if there is a more demand in the market, the trade will flourish, right? Then what are, see, these things can also change, right? See, various conflicts, geopolitical tensions and economic policies can pose a downside risk to this forecast, and there is a high chance that these can also change in further, right? Apart from this, if we look at some of the key findings of the report also, in October, WTO projected that the world merchandise trading volume will be growing by 0.8% in 2023. Just a rough idea, but now we are seeing that in 2024, 2.6% is expected, and in 2025, we will be growing the global merchandise trade volume by 3.3%. Apart from this, remember, countries declined, or countries witnessed a decline in their exports, such as Russia saw a decline of minus 28%. China saw a decline of minus 5%. Then Japan, it saw a decline of minus 4%. Right? Apart from this, major economies, they also saw a decline in their imports except UAE. UAE saw a 7% jump in imports. Correct? Russia, they saw 10% increase in their jump in imports, and Saudi Arabia saw a jump of 11%. Correct? Apart from this, remember, if we are talking about India, India's merchandise export for 2023, for the period 2023, was $432 billion, which is 5% lower compared to 2022, right? And India, remember, they clocked $451 billion in export in FY 2023, and India shares of global export was 1.8% and the import was 2.8% in 2023. If we talk about World Trade Organization, who is the Director General here? Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland. 164 member nations are there in World Trade Organization, and it was established in 1955. Next is IPPB has introduced Aadhaar ATM service for convenient cash withdrawal. I repeat, IPPB. What is IPPB? India Post Payment Bank, and they have introduced this Aadhaar ATM service facility for their users. It works on the principle of APES, that is Aadhaar Enabled Payment System. This was introduced by NPCI. If we look at the features here, IPPB online Aadhaar card ATM facility. This will enable the customers to avail cash without visiting the bank or an ATM machine and simply avail the cash at their doorstep with the help of a postman on Grameen Dak Seva. So it is IPPB. They have launched this online Aadhaar ATM facility. For this, you do not have to visit any ATM or bank, right? You will be getting the amount, the cash directly at your doorstep with the help of a postman. This facility is particularly helpful for those who are busy schedules or for the people living in the remote places, especially rural areas. And NPCI, they have set a minimum transaction limit of 10,000 rupees on a single AEPS financial transaction. And here IPPB does not impose any restrictions on AEPS transactions for other bank clients also, right? And remember this AEPS, that is Aadhaar enabled payment system. This is a banking service that is enabling the customers to utilize their Aadhaar identification for using the bank account and taking the money out of it. Correct? The service that will be provided by APS here includes your balance inquiry, cash withdrawal, cash deposit, mini space statement, and Aadhaar to Aadhaar fund transfer also. Apart from this, here if we talk about NPCI is an initiative that was launched by RBI and Indian Banks Association, and this comes under the provision of the Payment and Settlements Act of 2007. Then if we talk about NPCI, who is the MD and CEO, Mr. Dilip SB, headquarter Mumbai, Maharashtra, established in 2008. If we talk about Indian Post Payments Bank, who is the MD and CEO here, R. Vishweshwaran, headquarter New Delhi, established in 2018, and the tagline for IPPB is Aapka Bank, Aapka Dwar. Aapka Bank, Aapke Dwar. Correct? And this only IPPB, they launched this online Aadhaar ATM facility to provide cash in specifically in the rural areas directly at their doorstep, as the postmen will be coming and you do not have to visit any bank or ATM for this. Next is Asian Development Bank. They have projected India's GDP growth forecast for fiscal year 24 to dash. So Asian Development Bank, they projected that India will be growing by 7% in the year 2024. Correct? I repeat, India will be growing by 7% according to Asian Development Bank. Right? Earlier, Asian Development Bank projected India will be growing by 7%, but now they have revised their growth to 7%, from 6.7 to 7%. Right? Apart from this, for 2025, here you can see the Asian Development Bank projected India's growth at 7.2%, and India's inflation will be 4.6% in 2024 and 4.5% in 2025. All data in the outlook were assessed from Feb 1 to 31st of March 2024. Here, if we look at some of the highlights, on regional front, developing economies in Asia and Pacific are forecast to expand by 4.9% on an average. That means if we are talking about Asian economies, right, the countries that are in Asia, it is expected that on an average, the developing countries in Asia will be growing by 4.9% on an average in 2024 and 2025. The inflation in the Asian countries will be close to 3.2% in 2024 and 3% in 2025. And the South Asia remains the fastest growing sub-region as domestic demand improves on moderating inflation and most economies. And even we are seeing that Sri Lanka and Pakistan, the crisis they were facing is now over and they are also prospering now. Correct? If we talk about Asian Development Bank, who is the president here? Matsusugu Asakawa. Headquarter is in Philippines, Manila, Philippines. It was established in 1966 and there are 68 members in the Asian Development Bank. Moving on, next is NIIF. It invested around $200 million in iBus to boost the digital infrastructure in India. I repeat, NIIF, that is National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited. They have invested $200 million, that is close to 1,160 crore rupees in iBus Network and Infrastructure Private Limited. This is a Bengaluru, Karnataka based digital infrastructure solutions company, and it is to help them grow in the digital infrastructure in India, right? Then if we talk about this only, NIFL, right, the investment is in line with India's Digital India mission, correct? And NIIF, they will hold significant majority stake in this IBUS after the completion of the transaction project. And NIIFL Master Fund, this is India's largest infrastructure fund. The aim here is to participate in India's infrastructure story by investing in high quality businesses, right? So National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited, they invested $200 million, close to 1660 crore rupees in IBUS Network and Infrastructure Private Limited. Moving on, next is ICICI Lombard. They have partnered with Policy Bazaar to offer insurance products on Policy Bazaar platform. I repeat, ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company, they partnered with insurance platform, that is Policy Bazaar. It is to provide various insurance policies of ICICI Lombard to wide user base of the Policy Bazaar. Here ICICI Lombard offers a range of products that span motor insurance, health insurance, travel, home, business insurance, and so on. Next is PhonePe. PhonePe partnered with eSeva and Han Pokhara to promote UPI payments. I repeat, Bengaluru, Karnataka based fintech company PhonePe, they have partnered with eSeva, that is a digital wallet service of Nepal, and Hotel Association of Nepal, that is Han Pokhara, correct? And this eSeva, correct? So we can say that PhonePe, that is Bangalore, Karnataka based fintech company, they partnered with a digital wallet service of Nepal and Hotel Association of Nepal, that is eSeva, correct? And it is to promote the digital payments through UPI on the Nepal payment processor PhonePe network, correct? So basically in simple terms we can say, in order to enhance the usage of UPI in Nepal, this deal was done, this partnership was done between PhonePe and eSeva, so that on PhonePe network in Nepal we can see more and more usage of this UPI. And this partnership is a part of the 19th FEWA New Year festival that was held in Nepal from 11th to 14th of April. And this FEWA, FEWA, FEWA New Year festival, correct, it is celebrated with a theme that is tourism, culture and food. I repeat, tourism, culture and food. It was observed in Nepal from 11th to 14th of April. Moving on, here you can see the 19th FEWA New Year festival, correct? This partnership was a part of it, held in Nepal from 11th to 14th of April, and this is the theme that you need to remember: tourism, culture and food. Next is Howard University, that is in Cambridge, USA. They honored whom with the South Asian Person of the Year award. So who was honored with the South Asian Person of the Year award? Avantika Vandanapu, correct, was honored with the South Asian Person of the Year award by Howard University. She was recognized for her achievements and significant impact that she made both at international and Indian entertainment industry. I repeat, both at international and Indian entertainment industry. The significant contributions she made to this entertainment industries both at international and at national level. For this, she was honored by Howard University with the South Asian Person of the Year. Correct? Take a note of this. Then here you can see on 9th of April, Indian American actress Avantika Vandanapu was honored with South Asian Person of the Year by South Asian Association at Howard University, correct? And it was in USA, and she was recognized for her achievement in both international and national level entertainment industry. Next remember, we are talking about Belgium's Ingmar De Vos. As you can see him in the picture, he has been elected as the new president of ASOIF. What is this ASOIF? It is Association of Summer Olympic International Federation. And who has been elected as the new president here? Ingmar De Vos. He is from Belgium, correct? And this was during the 48th ASOIF General Assembly. Then remember, he was elected for a period of 4 years. It will be starting from 1st of Jan 2025. He will be replacing whom? He will be replacing, remember, Francesco Ricci Bitti, right? He is of Italy. He will be replacing him, whose third term as president of ASOIF is set to end on 31st of December 2024. And here Ingmar Devos term will be starting from 1st of January 2025 and it will be a 4-year long term. Correct. Then this assembly, this 48th ASOIS General Assembly, this was held where? This was held in Birmingham, UK. Correct. Birmingham, UK. Apart from this, if we look at about Ingmar Devos, right, his career as a Belgian Senate advisor in 1989, then he served as the Director General of the Belgian Equestrian Federation from 1990 to 1997. Then he served as the Secretary General of the Belgian Equestrian Federation from 1997 to 2011. Then he joined FEI in 2011, where he served as the Secretary General till 2014. Then he was elected as the President of FEI on 14th of December 2024, re-elected for the second 4-year term in 2018 and for the third final term again in 2023. Right. Next. Also remember here, friends, if we talk about ASOIF, who is the president? Francesco Ricci Bitti till 31st of December. Then he will be replaced by whom? It will be replaced by Ingmar Devos. Then next, if I ask you who has been appointed or who is the executive director here? Andrew Ryan. Where is the headquarter of it? It is in Lausanne, Switzerland, and it was established in 1983. Moving on. Next is FSIB selected Manoj Mittal as their chairman and managing director of SIDBI, and Sanjay Shukla has been named as the managing director of NHB. What is NHB? NHB is your National Housing Bank. So one at a time. FSIB, they recommended Manoj Mittal for the post of chairman and managing director of SIDBI. Absolutely right. Right. He is currently serving as the MD and CEO of IFCL Limited, and he will be replacing Shiva Subramaniam Raman, who has been serving as the chairman and managing director of SIDBI since 2021. And Raman is a 1991 batch IA and ES, that is Indian Audit and Account Service Officer. Then if we talk about further here, that FSIB has named Sanjay Shukla as the managing director of National Housing Bank. Correct. This is the apex regulatory body for overall regulations and licensing of housing finance companies in India, and he is currently serving as MD and CEO of Centrum Housing Finance Limited. Apart from this, if we talk about FSIB, FSIB came into effect on 1st of July 2022, replacing Bank Boards Bureau, and this is for recommending persons for appointments as a whole-time directors and non-executive chairmen on the boards of financial service institutions. Who is the chairman here? Bhanu Pratap Sharma, and the headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Next is Supreme Court Judge Aniruddha Bose. As you can see him in the picture, Aniruddha Bose has retired and has been appointed as the director of NJA. I repeat, on 10th of April, Justice Aniruddha Bose retired from Supreme Court of India, and he has been serving as the Supreme Court judge since 2019, as you can see him in the picture. Then he was appointed director of the National Judicial Academy. I repeat, National Judicial Academy, that is NJA, which offers training programs to the judges in their judging role and in performance of court administration work, like how they should debate, like what are the works they should do. So to provide them training there, correct, he has been appointed as the director of the National Judicial Academy. Right, take a note of this. Then if we talk about NJA only, right, as we just saw, this is an independent society. This was established in 1993 and it was established under the Societies Registration Act of 1860. NJA, this was fully funded by the Government of India and it works under the directions of the Supreme Court of India. Who is the chairperson here? D.Y. Chandrachud. It is located where? It is located in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. NJA, National Judicial Academy. Moving on. Next is Hinduja Group firms get SEBI approval for ownership change of Reliance Wealth. I repeat, SEBI has given up its approval to Hinduja Group owned Asia Enterprise for a change of control in Reliance Wealth Management Limited under SEBI's regulation governing investment advisors and portfolio managers. Correct. Apart from this, remember SEBI, they have also approved the application process for a proposed change in control at Reliance Securities. Then IndusInd International Holding Limited, that is an investment holding company of Hinduja Group, they made a successful bid to get Reliance Capital under the corporate insolvency resolution proceeding process of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. And then IIHL's resolution plan for Reliance Capital encompasses Reliance Wealth among other entities that involves an upfront cash of amount of 9,650 crore rupees. So I repeat once again, SEBI first they approved the application process for the proposed change in the control of Reliance Securities under the regulations governing research analyst and investment advisor. Then in the International Holding Limited, this is an investment holding company of the Hinduja Group. Then they made a successful bid to get Reliance Capital under the corporate insolvency resolution proceeding of CIRP process of the IBC. And then IIHL, correct, that is in this International Holding Limited, their resolution plan for the Reliance Capital encompasses the Reliance Wealth among other entities, and it involves a upfront cash amount of 9,650 crore rupees. Right? If we talk about the CIRP process against Reliance Capital, it was initiated in November 2019. Correct? And IHL, that is in the International Holding Limited, correct, they bid received 99.6% of the majority support from the creditors. Right? So first step was that RBI approved the application process for the change in control at Reliance Securities. Then in the International Holding Limited, they successfully bid to get the Reliance Capital under their CIRP process, and then they made a upfront cash amount of 9,650 crore rupees for the same. Next is NASA and Japan. They signed an agreement to advance sustainable human exploration. I repeat, Bill Nelson, who is the administrator of NASA, and Japan's Minister of Education of Culture, Sports, Science and Technology, Masahito Moriyama, they signed an agreement to advance sustainable human exploration of the moon. This was at the NASA headquarters in USA. So I repeat, if we talk about this agreement, USA, they will send two Japanese astronauts on the surface of the moon for the Lunar mission. So this mission was signed between USA and NASA. We can say USA and Japan, we can say, because NASA is the space agency of USA. Here NASA will be sending two Japanese astronauts on the surface of the moon for exploration. Right? Out of the two Japanese astronauts, one will become the non-American ever to land on the moon. Correct? And under this agreement, Japan will design, develop and operate a pressurized rover for the crew mission. Correct? And NASA will provide the launch and delivery of the rover to the surface of the moon. The astronauts from Japan will take over the NASA's future Artemis mission also. Right? Apart from this, here you can see NASA, USA or NASA, they will be sending two Japanese astronauts to the surface of the moon. And out of the two Japanese astronauts, one will become the first non-American ever to land on the moon. Right? Then apart from this, in addition to this lunar exploration, USA will also collaborate with Japan for their future participation in the NASA's Dragonfly mission and the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope. Here USA and Japan, they will collaborate on JAXA, that is Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency's next generation solar observing satellite, that is SOLAR-C. This is the official name. This is a high sensitivity solar ultraviolet spectroscopic satellite. If we talk about the Artemis program, in which the Japan will also be helping NASA, is Artemis 1. It successfully flew across a moon in 2022. Then Artemis 2, it is planned to be launched in the year 2025, and it will send, Artemis 2 will be sending 4 astronauts around the moon without landing. Correct? And if we talk about Artemis 3, this will be launched in the year 2026, and it will be the first crewed mission to land on the surface of the moon. Next is National Safe Motherhood Day, observed on 11th of April. National Safe Motherhood Day, and it is to raise awareness about the significance of maternal health and wellness, and to promote maternal health and reduce maternal mortality rates in India. This National Safe Motherhood Day, correct, it is to basically provide high quality maternal healthcare services and encourage safe delivery. This National Safe Motherhood Day was initiated by White Ribbon Alliance India. This is a grassroots organization that advocates for health, rights of women and newborns. Here the government of India declared 11th of April every year as the National Safe Motherhood Day. Correct? Apart from this, remember the first ever National Motherhood Day was observed on 11th of April 2003. And why on 11th of April only? Because 11th of April commemorates the birth anniversary of Kasturba Gandhi. From 1869 to 1944 she was alive. Correct? She is an Indian political activist and the wife of Mahatma Gandhi ji. She was born on 11th of April 1869. That is the reason on 11th of April we observe National Safe Motherhood Day. And this year on 11th of April in 2024 it was 155th birth anniversary of Kasturba Gandhi. Correct? Next, apart from this, remember, according to UN Maternal Mortality Estimation Interagency Group Report 2020, trends in maternal mortality from 2000 to 2020. That's if we are talking about the mortality rates. Right here, the India's maternal mortality ratio has declined. That was 384 per 1 lakh deaths in 2000. It has been reduced to just 103 mortality in 1 lakh in 2020. The global MMR has dropped from 339 in 2000 to 223 in 2020, and the average annual rate of the reduction in the global MMR from 2000 to 2020 was 2.07%, while India saw a decline of 6.3%, which is higher than the global decline. Next comes your Parkinson's. World Parkinson's Day observed on 11th of April, and this day is observed to raise awareness and advance research so that more research can be done towards this therapeutic and a cure for Parkinson's disease. This is also known as paralysis agitans. If we talk about this, remember Parkinson's, right? He identified Parkinson's as an medical condition and published an article, that is an essay on the shaking palsy in 1817. Who are we talking about? We are talking about Dr. James Parkinson, right? And he was first who described Parkinson's. That is the reason Dr. James Parkinson, on his name only we have described this disease, and he wrote an essay, that is an essay on the shaking palsy. And red tulips with a fringe of white, this is the official symbol of the Parkinson disease, and the first World Parkinson Day was observed in April in 1997, that too on 11th of April 1997. Correct? And Parkinson's, remember, this is a neurological condition that affects your brain's ability to produce dopamine, that is a crucial chemical that is required for movement control and also happiness. And there is no cure for Parkinson's as of now. So friends, these were your important current affairs. Now let's move to your famous one-liner that will help you to remember and revise all the current affairs. India-Mauritius has been amended, or India and Mauritius, they amended the double tax avoidance agreement. KABIL and CSIR IMMT, they signed an MOU for technical and knowledge cooperation for critical minerals. QS World University Ranking by Subject 24 was released, and JNU has ranked India's top university for development studies. WTO projects global merchandise trade volume to grow by 2.6% in 2024. IPPB introduced Aadhaar ATM service for convenient cash withdrawals. Asian Development projected India's GDP growth forecast for 24 to be 7%. NIIF invested $200 million in iBus to boost digital infrastructure in India. ICICI Lombard, they partnered with Policy Bazaar to offer their insurance products on Policy Bazaar platform. PhonePe partnered with eSeva and Han Pokhara to promote UPI payments, especially in Nepal. Then Harvard honored Avantika Vandanapu with the South Asian Person of the Year title. Then Belgium's Ingmar de Vos has been elected as the new president of ESOIF. FSIB selected Manoj Mittal as the chairman and managing director of SIDBI, and Sanjay Shukla has been named as the managing director of NHB. Supreme Court Judge Aniruddha Bose retired and appointed as the director of NJA. Hinduja Group firm got SEBI approval for ownership change of Reliance Wealth. NASA and Japan, they signed an agreement to advance sustainable human exploration. National Safe Motherhood Day observed on 11th of April on the birth anniversary of Kasturba Gandhi, and World Parkinson's Day observed on 11th of April. So these are your important current affairs for today, friends. Now let's move to some revision part that will be beneficial for your learning. Who was appointed as the Prime Minister of Palestinian Authority in March? So Mohammed Mustafa was appointed as the Prime Minister of Palestinian Authority in March. He succeeded whom? He succeeded Mohammed Satya. Mohammed Satya. Next, in March, Prabhavo Subianto was elected as the president of which country? He was elected as the president of Indonesia. And he is scheduled to become the 8th president of Indonesia. And he will succeed whom? He will be succeeding Joko Widodo. Next, which of the following organizations along with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have recently pledged nearly $600 million towards eliminating cervical cancer? So which of the following organization? It is World Bank and UNICEF. Correct? These two organizations, they along with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they have pledged nearly $600 million for eliminating cervical cancer. And the funding includes $400 million over 3 years by World Bank, and the rest $180 million from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Next, which country's central bank has recently signed an MOU with RBI to promote the use of local currencies of both countries? So, Bank of Indonesia and India's Central Bank of Indonesia and Reserve Bank of India. These two organizations, they collaborated together and they signed an MOU where they will be promoting the use of the local currencies of both these countries in order to enhance the trade between them. So, Indonesian Rupiah, that is IDR, and INR, that is Indian Rupees, the trade between these two local currencies will be enhanced under this collaboration. Next, who has been recently named for the Pritzker Architecture Prize 2024? So, Reiken Yamamoto of Japan, right? He has been named as the named for the Pritzker Architecture Prize. This Pritzker Architecture Prize is the highest honor given in the field of architecture, and Reiken Yamamoto, he became the 53rd laureate to be honored with Pritzker Architecture Prize and the 9th Japanese architecture to win this prize. This prize includes a cash prize of $100,000 and a bronze medallion. Next, in March, Vadodara Municipal Corporation, that is a civic body of Gujarat, has raised dash amount by issuing Asia's first certified green municipal bond for sustainable water infrastructure. So, Vadodara Municipal Corporation, that is the civic body of Gujarat, it has raised how much amount? It raised 100 crore rupees. It raised 100 crore rupees by issuing Asia's first certified green municipal bond for sustainable water infrastructure. Right? And here the coupon rate or the interest rate that will be provided here will be of 7.9%. Next, which state government has recently launched India's first government-owned OTT platform C-Space? And we have discussed this multiple times. This C-Space is of which state? It is of Kerala. Kerala owns this first OTT platform C-Space. OTT platforms are such as your Netflix, your Amazon Prime, right, and so on. Correct? And it is your Kerala State Film Development Corporation that owns this C-Space. Who is the Chief Minister of Kerala? Pinarayi Vijayan. Next, which country has recently joined NATO as an alliance? Correct, as their 32nd member. So, NATO. Which country became the 32nd member of NATO? It is Sweden. Sweden became 32nd member of NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Next, how many winners have recently won first National Creators Award presented by Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi in March? So a total of 23 creators was awarded with the National Creators Award. That was the first ever edition, or we can say the inaugural edition of the National Creators Award. Right, there were 23 winners, 3 were international winners, right, and 20 in 20 categories they were awarded. The event for this, where was this held? At Bharat Mandapam, that is in New Delhi. Next, in March, Cabinet Committee on Security approved funds worth how much amount for an indigenous 5th generation advanced medium combat aircraft fighter jet project for the Indian Army. So CCS approved the fund worth 15,000 crore rupees, and it is for indigenous 5th generation advanced medium combat aircraft fighter jet for the Indian Air Force. right? And AMCA, that is Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, correct? This project aims to develop first 5 prototypes over the next 5 years, that is by 2030, with first prototype of this AMCA that will be rolling out in 2026. Next is your homework. First, CDOM air defense system recently seen in news is developed by which country? Second, Simon Harris recently became the new Prime Minister of which country? We did this yesterday. Third, what is the theme of World Homeopathy Day in 2024? Fourth, Peter Higgs, who recently passed away, won the Nobel Prize in which research? And fifth, Global Hepatitis Report recently released by which organization? And these are your 5 homework questions. I want to see maximum participation from all the students here. That's all for the day, friends. I hope you enjoyed the session, and you can follow us on the YouTube channel, as well as apart from YouTube channel, you can go and follow us at AffairsCloud Telegram channel. And if you have any queries related to the content or the of courses offered to you or the payment which you did on the application, you can contact us on the number provided, that is 7677333862. Apart from this, friends, you can follow us on the Facebook as well as on Instagram handle, that is AffairsCloud_official. Also students, you can use code Vikas10, that will give you extra 10% discount on the courses that you will purchase.